Alright, Karie, just to help you with your little crystal ball, let's look into your future and see how we can fix it. To get the refraction that you're looking for, I'm just going to build a dumb scene of your ball. Yours is much better, so let's take a simple ball shape. And also show you how to turn shadows on, which will help you give you a little more definition to your scene. So I'm going to use a little spotlight here. And again, I always prefer using in the spotlights to use a fall off, a decay rate. So I'm using a linear decay rate and crank the intensity way up to like 30. Now using my software, which is fine. You can use my software, you can use Mental Ray if you want to load that up, but with my software you can do quite a lot actually. So there's your basic scene, kind of how you have it set up, but let me do this. Let me just increase the penumbra angle of the light source a little bit, and that kind of creates a little softer edge, which is like that. Let's also turn on, under shadows, we can use ray trace shadows, but with ray trace shadows, if we don't have ray trace turned on the render, it ain't gonna work. So if we go to the render settings here and turn on under my software ray tracing quality, turn that on, then when you render this out, it'll actually have a shadow. So here we go, there's a shadow, so which is cool. But how do we create that refractive surface? Let's make this light radius a little bit bigger. Cone angle, make it a little wider. Do that again. Let's pull the intensity down a little bit more. I actually prefer quadratic decay, but sometimes you have to make this thing like 100 or 200 just to overcome that. Not too bad. Now, let's grab this little sphere here, and we're going to right click and give it a new material. I'm going to assign new material. It's way at the bottom there. And you can also click up here. There's a Fong material or a blend. Either one will work pretty well depending on the effect you're looking for. I'm going to use a blend for right now. And I'm going to use transparency. I'll bring the transparency down to fully transparent. Now render it. Now we can see through it, but we don't see any distortion of the background via refraction. So with ray tracing on, we can actually refract this. If you go down here to ray trace options, turn on refractions, and take the refractive index and make it like 1.5, which is about the refraction level of glass. Now render it. You'll see this actually bending the light through the glass. So you can add your material to it as well, but that will give you the proper distortion through the glass object. There you go. And of course you can even make the transparency a color, and I think if I make this blue, I can sort of make it a blue effect. It's kind of funny because it reflects the opposite color, so it could be a little bit odd. So let me see if there's something I can actually use. This is where RenderMan becomes a lot better because you don't get that bounce back. I'll make the color black. There we go. That way we have no bouncing light off the surface. There we go. That's it. So even in transparency, you might even be able to apply a file texture to that. So if your scan of your image, let's go to my desktop and see what I have here as far as photos go. There we go. There's a brick wall. Let's see how this works out. So you might be able to actually have some of that material inside of there actually shining through. There. It's a little bit weird. I'm not sure that's actually going to work quite the way I was looking for, but yeah, I don't know. Just break that connection and try something else. Possibly, Well, let me think about that for a little bit, and possibly we can find some solution to the problem. To have light colors inside of the object could be a little interesting. You could also map the color here this way, and I'll use the same file. Again, I'm not sure if this is going to be exactly what we're going to be wanting. And as we do that, if we make that diffuse color completely, you don't see any refraction through the material, so it may require you do a little bit of color balance work. Yeah, so once we map a diffuse color on top of it, then that all goes away. So I'm going to break that connection here, leave it black, and when we get into RenderMan, we'll find a solution maybe to solve that problem. But at least this gives you a nice clear appearance. There you go. Alright, cool. That helps a lot, at least.